Well, the Raptors, they have now won 4 straight games. They win their franchise record 25th road game of the year. And they come away with the win, like I said, 108-98 over the Detroit Pistons. Now have win number 59 on the season. 1 game left, Raptor fans. We're just about there. And, this game didn't look the greatest out of the gate. I mean, we really didn't have a great time. First quarter, Raptors were up big early on. It was 15-6, I think, at one point. And they cut the lead, and it ends up being 32-32 after the first quarter. Second quarter rolls around, and the Raptors have an abysmal start. They're at one point down 17 at one point in the quarter. And what really got them back in the game is a 13-0 run to end the first half. You're only stuck 3 after 2 quarters. And you got to come out in the third quarter and bring that same defensive intensity you did in the first half. Well, third quarter, they do just that. The Detroit Pistons do not score for the first, I think it's the first 4 minutes of is that the fourth quarter they don't score that. But anyways, they only hold them to 20 points in the third quarter. Raptors score 28, and bang, they're up by 5 now at the end of 3. There we go. And then you go to the fourth quarter, Raptors only give up 18 measly points in the fourth, score 23, and you win by 10. The team didn't give up. They put a big push before the half, and we talk about it all the time, about finding a way to close a quarter, close a half right. Just like in hockey, closing periods right. Just things like that really help your team out heading into a locker room. A late period goal against really kills your hockey team. A big run by the opposing team late in the first half carries into the second half most of the time, and then you're chasing. That's what happened to the Pistons today. They got the big lead, they sat back, Raptors came at them, they played great, and they were only stuck 3 at the half, and they just kept the ball rolling in the second half and just obliterated them. After scoring, saying it was 60 points in the first half, the Pistons did, the Raptors hold them to 38 in the second half. Terrific job by the Raptors. Terrific job. Now, it could have been a lot more. Obviously, they made a big run there late to cut it to, I think it was to 8 or something. Then Casey's like, all right. Pirtle, Siakam, DeLon Wright, get back out there. And then the Raptors get their lead back up there once again. So, it was a good game. Raptors come away with the victory. That's all that matters. The team shot 53% from the field, only 31% from 3, 12 of 39. Only got to the free throw line 4 times. And we're 4 of 4, and they got to the free throw line 25 times. A number that I want to keep an eye on moving forward and into the playoffs. Rebounds, without Andre Drummond and Blake Griffin in the lineup for the Pistons, the Raptors should have got the win. I don't care if we don't have Ibaka or Fred VanVleet in the lineup. They don't have their 2 best players on the court. That's like us not having DeMar and Kyle. Or you can throw JV or whoever you think the Raptors' 2 best players are. And the Raptors showed it. They out-rebounded them by 13. The offensive glass by 3. 27 assists to their 21. Yeah, 7 steals for the Pistons. We only had 3. 5 blocks to their 2. And the number we talked about in the last video about, the Raptors had 17 turnovers in the game yesterday. They came out today, 9 turnovers. That's more like it. And, I got to say, JV put Stanley Johnson on an absolute poster there in that second quarter as the Raptors really got back into that game. It was a throwdown. And JV, as expected, without Drummond and without Blake Griffin, 25 points, 9 rebounds in 25 minutes, 11 of 13 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, plus 21 on the floor. Pascal Siakam got the start. He had 10.6 boards, but a plus 24 while he was on the floor. And 2 of 3 from Pascal. Great to see. 4 of 6 shooting as well. OG, 3 of 6 shooting, 8 points, 4 rebounds, couple blocks. Great there. Lowry with 11 points. DeRozan with 16. Lorenzo Brown with 11. Jakob Poeltl with 12. And, of course, he has to posterize somebody as well. That was a big one there late in the game. He ended the game 12 points, 6 rebounds, and he has been on fire as of late. Only missed one shot in this game, but dating back to his last, 13, 14 shots, he's missed one measly shot. He's been on fire so far heading into the playoffs. CJ Miles with only 7 points on 3 of 10 shooting, 1 of 7 from 3. So again, not his greatest time, but he's taking a lot of contested threes. You got to get him good looks, then he'll knock them down. These tough threes where he makes up his mind before the play even happens reminds me of Terrence Ross. Comes out of a screen and just chucks up a three no matter if there's a guy in his face or not. That's what CJ Miles is feeling like as of late. But you know what? The Raptors come away with the victory. That's the main thing, I guess, out of this. Raptors hold their opponents to under 100 points. I mean, look at the defense over the last little while, guys. Ever since, people have been really calling them out, it's been stellar. You go back to the Denver game where the Raptors gave up 110, and then you lost to Boston. Then you lost to Cleveland, and we're all like, this is a joke. We got to change things. This team has to play defense. And they come out against Boston, only give up 78. Then you give up 73 to Indiana, only 101 to Orlando, and then only 98 today against the Detroit Pistons. Very good job as of late for the Toronto Raptors playing defense, and they got to keep that rolling. Wednesday against Miami, a possible first-round matchup there. I mean, that's going to be one heck of a matchup there Wednesday night in the final game of the regular season. Raptors look for their 60th win on Wednesday. Obviously in Miami, and I'm trying to look here. So if you're looking at playoff kind of stuff, well, Orlando and Milwaukee are tied 47 apiece right now, and Miami's beating Oklahoma City. So the Wizards don't play tonight. I think they play tomorrow. They play Boston tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So again, pick your poison. Whoever you guys want to see in the first round, let me know what you guys think. But in my opinion, and I mentioned this in the podcast today, link is in the description for that, guys. No matter what team the Raptors face, Milwaukee, Miami, or Washington, I think the Raptors get through, no problem. But we're all talking about what would be the easier matchup, and I don't think we should look at it that way. You go into the playoffs with the number 1 seed, play well heading into the playoffs, and take it from there. The Raptors can't control what other teams do. If other teams are going to lose to try and face the Raptors, let them do it. Because let's see what they got. This Raptor team is strong. They're good enough, and I'm proud of these guys for the fight they've done as of late. A lot of people are criticizing them, over the last, before the last 4-game win streak, I guess, against Cleveland, against Boston, in Cleveland and in Boston, and games before that, ever since that Oklahoma City mayhem at the Air Canada Center, the Raptors hadn't looked so right, and everyone's scared because, we haven't been seeing the same team we've seen over the last for the whole season, and they really found themselves over the last 4 games. So like I said, having won 4 straight and win number 59 on the year, continue to break records for this team. Look, they have the most home wins in a regular season. They have the most road records in wins in a regular season. When you add those together, you have a best record period in a regular season for the Raptors. I mean, come on. They're breaking records left and right. I'm proud of these guys, but they have 1 game left. And, whether they win or lose, it really doesn't matter. But wouldn't it be nice to go into the playoffs having won 5 straight? It would just feel nice. And that's a Wednesday night, guys. I think it's a 7 o'clock tip-off, 8 o'clock tip-off down there in Miami, Florida, as the Raps and the Miami Heat look to close out the season. And like I said, that could possibly be a round 1 matchup. Again, it all depends how things play out as we move forward here. But hey, the Raptors, they're looking good. They're feeling good. We're happy. Everyone's playing well as a unit. And you got Serge Ibaka to rest today. Fred VanVleet got precautionary rest. Obviously, with the back issue that we saw in the last game, you knew he wasn't going to play today. He's probably not going to play against Miami. If he does, okay, put him in limited minutes. And then get him ready for the playoffs. That's all that matters. And I mentioned this in the podcast, guys. Look, Cleveland is the team to beat in the East until someone dethrones the Cavs. I think that's fair to say, right? Until someone beats King James in the playoffs, he's still the best team. And the reason I say he is the best team because enough said. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video and you guys enjoyed this game, smack that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of this game. What were the goods? What were the bads? Let me know what you guys thought about this one. Who's your MVP in this one? I think I got to give it to JV for his work. I mean, there was no matchup really for him on the inside. He was just tearing them a new one. But he did that. He had to make his shots, and he did. He was terrific. And we'll talk to you guys, podcast edition next Wednesday. I know it's all over the place right now, but I'm hoping after next week we'll get back to normal on our Tuesday schedule. Next Wednesday, podcast edition. Leafs, Raptors, Jays. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and the podcast itself on iTunes. It's down in the description, guys. Please go check that out. And Twitter is also down there, guys. Please, if you guys are interested in heading down to Jurassic Park, what is that? Jurassic Park for the Raptors playoffs and Maple Leaf Square for the Leafs playoffs, let me know down below and on Twitter, guys. DM me if you guys are interested in heading down there for the Raptors and Leafs playoffs. I know that I won't be able to make Game 1 for the Leafs, but I'm probably going to be there for Game 2. But I'll be talking to you guys very shortly. Leafs edition, I will be breaking down the round 1 preview between the Leafs and the Bruins. I will also mention you guys in there what games I plan on going down to and the games that I'm almost guaranteed to be going down to. But I'll keep you guys posted on all that stuff as the time moves forward. So we'll talk to you guys very shortly, probably after the Jays game, Leafs edition. And we'll talk to you guys, like I just said, Jays edition as they're in Baltimore taking on the Orioles. Look to close out that game nicely. They're up 2-1 right now against the O's. J-Hap got the start, was terrific. Hopefully the Jays can get their second win in a row. And we'll talk to you guys Wednesday, Raptors edition, as they close out the 2017-2018 season with a victory down in Miami, Florida against the Miami Heat. We'll talk to you guys then.